You're gonna respect this one.
You never beat us.
So look, now we're talking about
Ever.
gonna talk about New York again, but this time we're gonna switch to basketball. We're gonna talk about the New York Knicks.
Oh, you're a fan.
Yes, I'm a fan of the New York Knicks.
Well, tell them the last time y'all made the playoffs.
It might have been 2012 or 2013.
Yeah, it was. He laughing at y'all. This guy.
What didn't you guys just make it in like 2014? 2017.
Yeah, try again. Yeah, try again.
2017. They made it in
He tried.
2017.
He tried.
They made it in 2017. Hold
And
on.
not 2017. It was 2018. Jimmy Butler last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I know.
You guys,
What about you guys?
lost.
2012.
You blew a lead to Isaiah Thomas.
You lost 4-2 to Paul George and David West.
Your best player was Rajon Rondo.
And we won the same amount of games as y'all. With Melo. Like, is he kidding me? Like,
Look, will Tom Thibodeau?
look.
Will Tom Thibodeau make the Knicks relevant again?
I love Tom. You got to go first, Jay.
Relevant? I mean,
Garbage.
that's gonna have to come within the Knicks organization within themselves. But I mean, I think Tom Thibodeau is a pretty good coach. I mean, he's gonna help with them with their defensive lapses.
I'm sorry to cut you off. What's the definition of relevant in the NBA?
Playoffs.
Playoffs?
Yes,
Consistent
playoffs.
Well, no, it's just making the playoffs.
Making
You're
the
relevant.
I'm saying making the playoffs consistently, right?
Not really. If you make the playoffs 1 year,
And then you miss out the next 3, you're relevant?
Well, we're just talking about relevancy. What made the Nets relevant? Making the playoff once.
Consistently.
But that set a standard.
No, because when we made the playoffs, that's when we got those free agents.
And
You
then
know,
you
all it
started
takes
making
is
it
for the Knicks to make it
Make
one
it
time,
once.
but then
Yes.
you drop out the next year back to irrelevant.
Well, if you so let's say he takes them to the playoffs. Let's say they get a 7-8 seed. Pending free agent could be like, wow, I like what I'm.
When
like
Charlotte
what I see
made
in
the
New York.
playoffs that one time, did they become relevant?
But they're not a high market like New York.
Oh, okay, you talk about high market.
They're really not at all. Like,
I'm
it's
just
not even
asking. You
close.
said if you make the playoffs, you become relevant. So when Charlotte,
If
made
New
the
York
playoffs-
makes the playoffs, it's going to be a big deal.
It's more.
feel like-
It's more of a buzz than Charlotte.
I feel like-
you know what I mean. Like
No pun intended.
yeah, no,
For real,
that's-
yeah.
respect it. All right. I mean, go ahead, continue.
outside of just like, I mean, I think he's gonna help him defensively because his track record shows that he's a really good defensive coach. As far as taking him back to relevancy, I think the Knicks are still lacking a couple key pieces, but I think Tom Thibodeau isn't a bad coach to jumpstart or rebuild. So I mean, I'm gonna say Tom Thibodeau can. He's not a bad coach. He's not a bad.
He's a
He's
really
gonna
good
help him
coach.
defensively.
I just want to hear him talk.
Offensively, I know he doesn't like. I mean, he was your coach. He was a coach of your team. I mean, what kind of offensive sets did you guys run when he was a coach?
Derrick Rose.
That's it. Yeah. So I mean, offensively, I don't know what I'm going to see, but I know I'm going to see improvement defensively. From
To
the
be
New
fair,
York
though, we
Knicks.
never put a really good offensive team in his face.
But I
So-
mean, to bring him back to relevancy, the Knicks have to bank on their picks.
Hey, Joel, we want to hear your take.
He obviously will make the Knicks relevant again.
Talk to
And the
us.
reason
Fair
why he'll
defense.
make the Knicks relevant
Lock
again
up.
is because when you look at the Knicks, you see that they don't have much
Nothing.
talent on it outside of R.J. Barrett, Mitchell Robinson.
How about Julius Randle?
Julius Randle is talented. He's not talented.
He's pretty good.
He can give you 20
He's
a night.
okay.
He can give you 18 or more a night. He's a
not-
talented player.
Yo, he
He's a-
breaks the ball up and shoots bricks.
He's not a bad player.
Yo.
He's
Oh
not a
my-
bad player.
He's all right.
But
Yo,
look,
remember,
this
no,
is-
wait.
need a point guard.
Before we continue, tell the world what you told us about Julius Randle when you first got him.
I'm not ready to do that right now.
He said he's better
Look,
than
this is-
Porzingis.
this is-
He did. It's
He started the season better.
No,
than
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to
Yes,
hear it. I
he
don't want to
did.
hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Yes, he
Lord.
did. But look. This is what I'm gonna say right now. One piece of information shows me that Tom Thibodeau is gonna make the Knicks relevant again. In the 2013-2014 season, he got 48 wins with the starting lineup of Kirk Heinrich, 9 points per game,
we were trash.
Jimmy
They play
Butler,
defense,
y'all.
though. They play defense though. You beat us in our inaugural season
Jimmy
in 7
Butler,
games where
Jimmy
Joe
Butler,
Johnson had plantar fasciitis.
Jimmy Butler, 13
So did
points per
Joakim.
game. Mike
didn't.
Dunleavy.
Oh shit!
Are you guys
Joe got
ready?
strapped.
Yeah, go ahead,
Oh,
Joe.
You guys
Joe
ready?
got strapped.
Their
Oh,
starting
don't get mad,
lineup was
don't get mad,
Kirk Heinrich, Jimmy Butler, Mike Dunleavy, Carlos Boozer, and Joakim Noah.
Sounds like a solid
But guess
rotation.
what? But guess what?
Right.
But guess what? Who was the leading scorer on the team?
DJ
Just take a
Augustine.
guess. DJ
Oh, I
Augustine
know
at
that.
15 points per game.
Yeah, he was playing
Luol
pretty well for
Deng
you.
missed virtually the whole season. So did Derrick Rose. And Tom Thibodeau had that team second in defense.
Yeah, he's a great
That's what
defensive
shows
coach.
me that the Knicks can be relevant with Tom Thibodeau. We already have a player who's going to work hard every day in R.J. Barrett. And Tom Thibodeau will turn Mitchell Robinson into a defensive player of the year candidate. And you can book that. You can book that.
Well, it's possible.
You
He's
can
gonna get
book
Julius
that.
Randle to play some damn defense.
You can
Needs
book
to
that.
get him to stop shooting
They can get him to
threes.
play defense.
I
I mean-
go. I could go now.
And look, Thibodeau in 5 years as a coach, on average, he was the 4th ranked in defense, and on average, he had 51 wins in his 5-year tenure. So can he make the Knicks relevant again? Yes. And will he? Yes. We have the picks, we have the players, and we have the market. And we have the market. If it wasn't for Mike Miller, Mike Miller, he did an excellent job. If it wasn't for David
That's why he got
Fizdale,
hired.
if it wasn't for David Fizdale being horrible to begin the season, the Knicks would have rallied off 30-plus wins, and I am certain of that. There's no doubt about it that he would have done that.
I could talk now.
Go ahead.
You can talk.
Damn,
I
Joel.
think
Kirk Hunter really scored 9 points per game.
yeah, he was dumb trash.
Oh my god.
I think Tom Thibodeau can lead them to relevancy. I this is where I disagree with you on something though. You said Tom Thibodeau took that team to the playoffs with straight defense. Now, your team consists of Alfred Payton, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle.
Alfred Payne's a free agent.
So your team right now, I guess I could just bank on R.J. Barrett,
Julius
Randle,
Randle, Mitchell Robinson.
Every time
Damian
Tom
Dotson.
Thibodeau has walked into a has been in a situation, aside from Boston, he was an assistant coach.
Yeah.
The team was already established. The star was already established. He walked into the Bulls 2010, 2011. D Rose was there. Joakim Noah was there. Luol Deng was there. It was an established there. We already know what was going to go on. He stayed there. When he walked into Minnesota, they got Jimmy Butler. They brought D Rose and Taj Gibson in to come off the bench. They had Andrew Wiggins. They had Karl Anthony Towns. So everywhere he's gone, it's been an establishment. He's walking into a situation. Mind you, he was also the operation. He was also, what's this shit called? The operation?
Well, he was a
Basketball operations for Minnesota. Also, he's walking into a situation where you guys have draft
Nothing to
picks.
work with.
Yeah, you have
That's what you're
nothing to work with. And
Wait, yes, we do. Our draft picks are something to work with.
I'm talking about players, bro.
R.J.
You
Barrett
don't
is
have-
something to
you
work
don't-
with.
That's two players.
Mitchell Robinson is
you're-
something
you're
to work
banking
with.
on rookies.
Wait, on Chicago, nothing. Yes, at first things were
D.
set up,
Rose was an
but
all-star when
it
Tim Thibodeau walked in.
became chaotic. Is Kirk Heinrich something to work with?
That was 3
Is
years later.
Is Mike Dunleavy something to work with?
How do you count 3 years later to him walking in? When he walked in, D. Rose was already an all-star. Luol Deng was an established.
Wait, what about the
two-way player.
2013 season that I mentioned that Derrick Rose missed the season?
10 games.
No, he played 10 games.
Pardon me. He played 10 games. Luol Deng missed most of the season.
They beat us in a playoff series.
Did you even look up the offensive ranking for that team?
It was 28th.
God, my God! What? Like, are you serious? We literally
Yes,
won
it was
strictly on defense.
bad, but they won on
And
defense, which is something that he could bring
Because
into the Knicks.
we had the assets
personnel?
to play D. Yeah, we had the personnel to play D. Who's your personnel? Julius Randle doesn't play defense. Probably ever won't. Mitchell Robinson plays D, but
Yeah,
he
he
fouls
blocks a
too
lot.
much.
He's an elite defender.
Yeah, but he also fouls too
too
much. Who else is an elite defender?
R.J. Barrett's not a bad defender.
He is. He's all right. You
Wait,
just
so
told me
Kirk Heinrich is an elite defender?
No.
Mike Dunleavy is an elite defender?
No.
What about Carlos Boozer?
he's all right.
So the only
No.
two defenders that you had were Jimmy and Joe Kim.
That was a different
Realistically.
time, though.
But
Wait, what
Joakim
about
was a
DJ
defensive player
Augustin?
of
Was
the
he a
year.
great defender?
He can score though.
Oh, okay.
He can
But
score.
hold up. So our two players are RJ and Mitch
You just
and
gave me a
whoever
whole
we
roster.
draft.
You have yet to tell me the Knicks roster for next season.
because most of our players are on 1 year deals.
My point: who are you gonna realistically? You're gonna draft LaMelo, right? Let's hypothetically say you draft.
We don't
he
have to
doesn't-
draft LaMelo.
I'm saying let's hypothetically say you draft
Or
LaMelo. He
Anthony
doesn't play a
Edwards.
lick of defense. You're bringing in a point guard that doesn't play a lick of defense to play for Tom Thibodeau.
He's gonna make him play defense.
How you gonna make somebody play D when they can't? Have you ever seen LaMelo play
I
basketball?
mean, he can't play defense,
No.
or he doesn't want to play
I
defense.
don't think he can.
Frank Ntilikina, great
sucks.
defender. He's a great defender though.
He is a
He
really
is,
good
but
defender.
what does he give you on
Nothing.
offense?
He just needs
What does Kirk Heinrich give you?
3-point shooting
Are you
and decent facilitating.
I'm serious.
No, 3-point shooting. and decent
2013 Kirk
facilitating.
Heinrich, what does he give you?
comparing 2013 to 2020 when you need to score in this league now? They won 48 games, bro.
That's enough for the playoffs. That's enough to make them relevant, which that's the question.
You
That's
think
literally
they-
the question.
You're comparing a team that already was gelled with their coach for 3 straight years to a team that's walking in with a new coach that's going to make virtually kids, work hard. Like, that's a bad comparison. That team was we already didn't fit, we didn't gelled, we didn't already been together. So we already knew what the vibe was. You're talking about a team, RJ Barrett ain't never seen a coach like Tom Thibodeau.
That makes it all the better.
Mitchell Robinson, your big man, is doing behind the back dribbles in the gym. He's a clown, like automatically. Like, what are you
Mitchell
doing?
Robinson, don't disrespect him like that. You know he's an elite defender.
I didn't say he wasn't. I said he's doing behind the back dribbles in a gym.
But you're trying to downplay him.
I'm
like
downplaying his offense. Absolutely. I'm absolutely. He gives me DeAndre Jordan vibes, just dunking the ball. I am definitely downplaying his offense. Frank can't score. Doesn't matter what you tell me. He cannot score the ball. Julius Randle literally brings the ball up and shoots bricks.
But Julius Randle can't score.
He can.
from the
Okay,
inside.
he can.
On the inside, but when
No,
he's
he-
bringing the ball up, it's over. You're gonna lose every time. Like, your team, like, the personnel you need, you guys are gonna need some dogs. You had Marcus Morris, you traded him.
He was a dog.
He was a dog. He would have fit right into Tom Thibodeau's system. So now the question is, how is Tom Thibodeau? I want to ask the further question. How is Tom Thibodeau going to make the Knicks relevant? Tell me what you think has to happen for you, Knicks, because you make Madison Square Garden really look like a bad arena because you guys haven't won in so long. Tell me how you're going to make New York City the greatest city on Earth, on planet Earth. Tell me how you're going to make that city great again.
Well, I
really
mentioned
wanna
it. Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
He's going to be a defensive
Rudy
player of
Gobert.
the year.
Okay.
He's going to be a defensive player of the year candidate year in and year out with Tom Thibodeau.
Great.
RJ Barrett is going to take a leap sooner than later. He's going to be an
What type of
outstanding player in the NBA. All-star leap.
Okay.
All-star leap. Better than Karis LeVert for certain.
Oh, you have a man crush on him? Like, yo, like, he brought him up out of nowhere.
And look, this what I have to say. Look, the Knicks, what's so good about the Knicks is that we don't have players that we have to pay.
You don't have players.
So we can just bring in players from free agency or we draft
Who
them.
wants to go play for the Knicks? When the
Marcus
last time
Morris
you got
wanted to play for the
somebody?
Knicks.
Marcus Morris. Look where he's at now. He literally
Didn't you
is
just
not
say
there.
you wanted him? He would fit right in with the Knicks.
He would fit in with Tom Thibodeau. Yeah, he would fit in.
So
You traded
let me
him.
tell you
That was
this.
their leading scorer.
Mike Miller,
was
a
that?
first-year head coach, went 17-27 with the Knicks. Fizdale,
Why you said that? Like that was a good record.
for the Knicks roster, it definitely is.
17 and
It was
20.
better than what David Fizdale
Wait,
did.
Fizdale started off 4-18. So you're telling me with an experienced playoff coach and Tom Thibodeau, they won't be better?
Who's your roster? You're not telling me the roster.
You
You're
just
gonna
need to
sign
know.
DeMar
You
DeRozan?
just need to know our cornerstone: R.J. Barrett and Mitchell Robinson. That's what you need to know.
You're not gonna make the playoffs for the
Frank
next 3 years.
Ntilikina. You need to know that.
Why
Frank
do you
is your
keep saying
Kevin
Frank?
Knox. You need to know.
Oh my God, he sucks.
Damian Dotson.
Oh, he's not bad.
Dennis Smith Jr.
He's horrible. They booed him.
Dude, your
They,
team
they
is
booed
really
him in
bad,
Madison
bro.
Square Garden.
Wayne Ellington.
He's good shooter.
Stop
He's
saying
Ignaz
it.
Brazdeikis.
actually not that bad.
Who?
No, he's actually not that bad.
Who is
he
that?
went to Michigan.
Bobby Portis.
Oh my God, you paid him 18 mil.
He knocked
For 1
somebody
year.
out.
Yeah, he did. He knocked Nikola.
But what I'm telling you is that we have a fresh,
bet you they signed DeMar DeRozan.
we
He's
have
not
a
bad.
clean slate.
But like,
DeMar's not bad though.
they're not. He's not gonna get them to the playoffs.
But he's not a bad
Guess
signing.
think he can.
He can get you to the playoffs.
The Knicks have a clean slate to do what
Can't
they
shoot
want.
threes.
None of them can.
And look, that's the best position we want to be in. If RJ
You've been
Barrett
in a
takes
clean
lead,
slate for like 8 years, bro.
if Mitchell Robinson turns into that defensive player of the year, which I know he can turn into, then yes, the Knicks will be relevant again. That's what Tom Thibodeau has to do. But it's not all on him. It's on management as well.
Who's your management again? You got new
Leon Rose.
You got a new guy, right?
Used to be a player agent. He used to manage a Towns, Donovan Mitchell,
Oh, you think Towns is coming?
Joel Embiid.
Okay. What about you? What you think? Like, what do you think about this whole process?
I already spoke.
No, I'm saying this whole Knicks, Mitchell Robinson, R.J.
I
Barrett.
mean, I think for
you think
for-
R.J. Barrett can be an All-Star
I mean,
after what you've seen him play?
was he the third pick? I mean, if you're
was
picked, if you picked as the third pick, you kind of should have some all-star expectations. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he needs to work on his jumper. But I mean, outside the two cornerstones, Mitchell Robinson is something that Tom Thibodeau would really love to work with. You know what I mean?
I
He
think
blocks a lot of
I think
shots.
he's gonna love Mitch.
You know, I think R.J. Barrett's not a bad player. I just think that they need a point guard, and they're missing so much other pieces on that roster. It's not going to be done overnight. So I mean,
Overnight, it might
No.
take y'all a couple years.
they got to bank on their picks.
Y'all need a point guard.
But
Need a bench.
RJ and Mitch isn't bad. And Julius Randle's he's nothing to brag about, but he's really not a bad player either. I think he was averaging 19 and 9 this year. It's not terrible.
Well, look up his numbers.
Yeah, I think he was averaging like 19.
He's
and 8,
averaging
19.
19 and a half a game,
Yeah,
10 rebounds,
It's not bad.
3 assists. He's shooting 46% from the field, 28% from
he's
three.
not a shooter.
He shoot him like he a shooter.
Nah, he just takes 3 threes a game.
Oh,
You should see the 3 threes.
And he's 73% from the free throw line.
it's not
He can work
bad.
on
He's
that.
not bad.
I mean, you got to see the 3
But
threes.
you know, the rest of the roster, I
he's
mean, like Frank
bringing-
Ntilikina and all those other guys
he's-
at the bottom.
He's
I don't know.
bringing the ball.
Kevin
up.
Knox, I think
Rick.
he's done. He's a lost cause.
He's
Dennis Smith's a
garbage.
lost cause. Frank Ntilikina is pretty much a lost
Yeah, you
cause.
gotta
Unless
put-
Tom Thibodeau could turn him into a 3
I
and D
think Tom,
player.
I think Tom would
Which
keep
wouldn't
Frank.
be bad because I think Frank's
I
ceiling
think
would
Tom's
be
gonna
good.
keep Frank.
Would be good as a 3 and D player. He's
Yeah.
got to work on his jump
I think
shot a lot.
Tom's gonna definitely keep Frank.
But Kevin Knox.
I think
and all these
Kevin
other
Knox
guys,
and Dennis Smith they're done. Like
They're out the
that's-
door.
Yeah, I don't know why you keep banking on Kevin Knox.
I mean, the rest of your roster is old, and then you got Kadeem.
I think those are the player deals, the 1 year player deals, right?
Oh, you guys don't have Trier anymore.
They released
Not that he's not anything special, but I mean.
But I'm just
better
saying,
than
people
that
were
shit,
saying the
yeah.
same thing about the Nets, that they were going nowhere the year where they shocked everybody and made
Dude,
the playoffs.
I thought we were. I'm right with you on that. I wasn't expecting my team to
So
make the playoffs.
there is no reason why the Knicks can't go somewhere with a coach who actually knows what he's
Pause.
doing.
Do you have a D-Lo on your team?
Yeah, but nobody knew
Do you have
D'Lo
a
was
D'Lo
gonna
on
break
your
out
team?
like this though.
I did.
Oh, you knew that was
I
coming.
told you that.
Did the
Remember,
Nets?
I told you that. I said this
Nobody
is the
saw
breakout
Karis
year.
Levert playing really woody.
Did the
good
Nets
either.
have a defensive player of the year candidate?
No,
which
we got
Mitch
Jared
can be?
Allen. Jared Allen has the same
Okay,
game
but
as
that's
Mitch.
what Mitch can be.
Okay. Did you guys have a Spencer Dinwiddie at least?
No,
No,
they don't
I
have a
think
point
so.
guard on the roster.
You don't have a
They don't really
guard.
have a shooting guard
You don't even have a wing.
That's what free agency is for.
Good luck.
or the draft.
The free agency class this year is kind of weak. I mean, you could try to get AD. He'd probably say no.
I mean, we just have to get some good role players in the building that can shoot and play some
Would you
defense.
take Fred VanVleet?
Absolutely, in a
Oh,
heartbeat.
they should
VanVleet.
start with that, honestly. Start with Van Vliet. Like, what you mean?
It's not
That's the
bad.
guy right there. Start right with him.
And you want to draft LaMelo, right?
He don't know who he want to draft.
Dude, I can't picture LaMelo playing defense, yo.
He gonna bring the Flash to New York.
I want to draft
go-
Obi Toppin.
He's not bad. He's actually slept on.
That means Julius Randle's gonna come off the bench.
Nah,
You can't play Julius Randle and Tobin.
Obi Toppin could play the 3, bro. He can play the 3. He can play the 3.
I would never
He's
put-
6'8",
I mean,
right?
Randall's contract is up next year.
I've never come to putting a guy who can't handle in the wing. That's how I feel.
Neither could
Like, he can
Julius
handle,
Randle. He can't really play the 3 either. If you think
He
about it.
can't shoot. That's
Yeah,
why
exactly.
he can. Julius Randle can handle the ball, but Toppin can't really handle the
So
ball.
Obi Toppin can't
6-man.
play an Otto Porter role.
I think not right now. I don't think he's rookie. year,
Otto
man.
Porter.
Oh my god, he's horrible. I hate him.
He's not even horrible.
He's
want
not.
him?
He's a really
You want
good shooter.
He's 28 mil. Nice.
no way.
Okay then. Let's just like he's getting paid.
But
20.
That's
that's
why you're
had
saying
a
he's
good
bad.
record with him though.
I mean, yeah, but he's not. He shouldn't be getting paid $28 million. Like, it's just ridiculous.